Alright, so does everyone have a copy of the outline and a copy of the study guide? Yes? No? Does anyone need anything? Alright, so we're going to pick back up vertebral column. So you're looking at the outline. We're going to get through as much of this as we can today. That way Thursday when you come in here, we can spend the entire class time playing review games, aka trash get ball, and if we have enough time, we'll play the snowball fight. So you guys haven't got to do that yet, but it's really fun. So you do throw paper wads at each other. So it's really fun. Like you'll be in two teams, you'll throw one ball, they answer it. If they get it right, then they get a point, but if they miss it, then you get a point like you hit them with a snowball. So it's back and forth. It is, or someone misses a point and doesn't get bonus points. So, vertebral column, that's where we're going to start. Vertebral column, aka the spine. Good, the spine. It extends from the skull, which it supports to the pelvis, where it transmits all the weight of the body through the lower limbs. The spine is formed by 26 irregular bones that are connected and reinforced by ligaments in a way that makes the spine flexible. Flexible. A lot of people don't think that it's flexible. They see it and they automatically assume that it's stiff. But if that was the case, then we would break our back when we bent over to tie our shoe, or we played limbo, or you did anything like that. You hit the quan. I don't know what you do with your back. You definitely couldn't wobble or anything. So, 24 of the 26 bones are single bones. 24 of the 26 bones are single bones. So if 24 of the 26 are single, then how many are composite? Two. Composite means that they've been fused together by other bones. Other bones have fused together to form a single bone or one solid bone. So two of them are composite bones. Does anyone want to take a guess at what they are? We learned them when we learned about the pelvis. One starts with a C. Coccyx. The other one starts with an S. Sacrum. Sacrum. Good. So, the spinal cord runs through the central cavity of the vertebral column. Spinal cord. Most of your fill-in-the-blank notes, by the way, come from this outline. So on your study guide, most of the fill-in-the-blank come from this. So take the notes, pay attention, you'll do good. So before birth, the spine consists of 33 separate bones called vertebrae. So 33 were the original number. Yes?
On the test?
No, you will not have a word bank. You will not have a word bank. So if we have 24 single bones and we originally started with 33, how many of them fused together? If we had 33 and now we have 24, 9 fused together. 9 fused together. It's okay, it's a long day. It's a long day. So 9 of these bones fuse to form the two composite bones of the, we just talked about it?
Vertebrae.
The starts with a C. Coccyx and the sacrum. Coccyx and the sacrum. Coccyx is C-O-C-C-Y-X. C-O-C-C-Y-X, and sacrum is S-A-C-R-U-M. Yeah. Of the, yes. Yes, it's supposed to say fuse. Fuse to form. Yeah. It's a misspelling on my part. So, of the, how many of the bones are single? Look up. 24. Of the 24 single bones, 7 are cervical vertebrae, which form the neck. So the vertebrae that form the neck. 12 are thoracic vertebrae, and 5 are lumbar vertebrae, which are found in the back, the lower back. So, easy way to remember this is most people eat breakfast at 7, lunch at 12, dinner at 5. Now, I know that's not a lot of you guys' pattern because 99% of you guys come in late for practice and it's like 7 p.m. before you eat dinner. But it's easy to think about that. 7, 12, 5. So it works its way down. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. 7 in the cervical, 12 in the thoracic, 5 in the lumbar. So, single vertebrae are separated by pads of flexible fibrocartilage called intervertebral disc. Intervertebral disc. They cushion the vertebrae and absorb shock so that the bones aren't taking the impact. We're going to look at several structures of the vertebral column, but they will not be on your test. So we're not going to focus a lot of our attention there, but they're important that you know them. So first, we have the body. The body. The body is the weight-bearing part of the vertebrae. It faces anteriorly of the in the vertebral column. Next, you have the vertebral arch. Vertebral arch. It's formed by the joining. Let's spell that on yours. Joining of all the posterior extensions. Next, I'm going to let you guess what this word, the second word is. So first, you have vertebral, and then the blank. But I'm going to let you guess what the blank is. I said vertebral blank in second, and I was like letting them guess it, but Kylie thought that she really was supposed to write the word blank in, so she had vertebral blank, and then wrote the next one. So it was funny. That was really funny. So vertebral blank. It's the canal or hole in which the spinal cord passes. So I told you guys that another word for hole. Foramen. Good. Vertebral foramen. There you go. Now all I can think about is foramen noodles. I don't know. So, hole. Next, you have the transverse processes. T-R-A-N-S-V-E-R-S-E, processes. There are two lateral projections from the vertebral arch. So each one has it, comes backwards like this. So those processes. Next, you have the spinous process. S-P-I-N-O-U-S, process. It's a single projection that arises from the posterior aspect of the vertebral arch. And lastly, when it comes to these notes, you have the superior and inferior articular processes. Articular processes. We talked about articular cartilage earlier. Articular cartilage was the cartilage at the ends of the long bones where they met to form a joint. And it's the same with the spine. It's the ends of the vertebrae where they meet to form a joint with the adjacent vertebrae. So. So you have 7 cervical vertebrae. They're identified as C1, simple enough, C1 to C7. Who would have guessed? But among these, C1 and C2 are different than the rest. They have different functions than the rest. So we're going to look at those specifically. These will both be on the test. So their specific function will both be on the test. C1 is called the atlas. So the atlas has no body. So why did the atlas not go to prom? It didn't have nobody to go with it. I've told it all day, and that's like my response all day. I'm like, oh man, I think it's funny. So it didn't have nobody to go with it. If I put that as your bonus question, you all should get it. So, did you just say that to me?
Wait, you should give the bonus question as those laugh at one of your jokes.
Yeah, then you have to do it. So, it is received by the occipital condyles. So the whole time we've been wondering what they're good for. That's where the vertebrae first start the process of the vertebral column. So they come in and is received by the occipital condyles. It's O-C-C-I-P-I-T-A-L. Condyle is C-O-N-D-Y-L-E-S. Occipital condyles. It gives us the ability to nod yes. So it gives us this head motion. Next, we're going to look at the axis, which is C2. It's called the axis. And the axis acts as a pivot for our head. It does. It gives us the no motion. It allows us to shift side to side, giving us the ability to shake our head no. It acts as a pivot. So it gives us the ability to turn our head side to side, indicating no. So how many thoracic vertebrae are there? Remember, if we have breakfast at 7 and that's cervical, and we have lunch at 12. There we go, 12. 12 is the thoracic. Yeah. So their body is somewhat heart-shaped. It's somewhat heart-shaped. They have two costal facets on each side that receive the heads of your ribs. Alright, so if we have 7 cervical and we have 12 thoracic, then we have 5 what? What was that? Lumbar. Good. 5 lumbar. They're labeled L1 to L5. You will only need to know that there are 5 of those. Nothing more specific than that. So, next, the sacrum. S-A-C-R-U-M. Sacrum is formed by the fusion of 5 vertebrae. It connects with what? What's underneath it? When we were looking at the pelvis, what was underneath the sacrum? Coccyx. Good. Coccyx.
Spell that.
C-O-C-C-Y-X.
I want to spell it C-O-X-I-S.
So the coccyx is formed by the fusion of 3 to 5 tiny irregular shaped vertebrae. It varies from person to person, which is 3 to 5. So it is also the remnant of a human. Anyone want to take a guess? Huh?
Soul.
No. Tail. Good. Tail. John.
I was going.
Not close at all, John. Not close at all. So we will cover the rest of this outline on Thursday before we play the trash ball game. So if you would, take your study guide, take your outlines, look over them. Be ready for the game on Thursday. That way it'll make it a lot more challenging. And then remember, the team with the most points is the only one that receives bonus points at the end. So if everything ties, then I'll split the bonus points.